This program is made possible in part by the Moving Image Trust Fund.
Back now with more with Vivienne Schiffer and Camp 9, book and film. Are you going to keep the title for the film?
No, the name of the film is Relocation, Arkansas. And I really want to explain that title because many members of the Japanese American community and other interested parties have really had a significant debate about terminology, and rightly so. I mean, at the early stages of this whole historical debacle that is the incarceration, the government couldn't decide what it wanted to call things, how it wanted to spin this. But they settled on these certain euphemistic words, and relocation was one of them. And so the members of the Japanese American community and other people who care about this particular subject do not like the term relocation. And I can completely understand that. The reason that the title of the film is Relocation, Arkansas, is that was the actual postal address of the camp. I was stunned to find this out, but I read it in the Rohwer Outpost, and I've since seen it on government documents. All the 10 camps were named for the nearest town. Gila River, Poston, Manzanar, Tule Lake, even Jerome, which was occasionally called Denson. But for some reason, the government changed the name of the Rohwer camp, even though the sign outside says Rohwer Relocation Center. In government documents and in the U.S. Postal Service, the name of that town was Relocation, Arkansas. So, in a sense, I found that so ironic. Relocation became not just an experience.
Almost like APO, to
exactly.
a service person overseas.
Exactly. It wasn't just an experience, albeit poorly named as a relocation. It was an actual physical place. And that's why the title is Relocation, Arkansas.
One of your I hope I'm not giving away too much. I know that in the closing pages of the book, one of your characters notes that he thought he was, and he's of Japanese ancestry, obviously. I have to tell the viewer that. He said, I grew up thinking I was white. I grew up in California. I've never been to Japan. And I grew up kind of thinking of myself white, and I'm not.
Right. Because the government pointed it out to him and treated him differently.
His word was carved me out,
right.
I think that you put it.
Right. So the government carved me out. And I think it was true for so many of those people. Many members of the Japanese, my understanding and what I've heard from members of this community, because I'm fortunate enough to have been welcomed into the community so much, to hear these stories and been given access to members of the community in the course of making the film. But my understanding is that although many of the members of the Japanese American community lived somewhat insular, in insular communities, many of them didn't. Some of these Japanese American kids went to school where the vast majority of their classmates were white. They were not living in an insulated fashion at all. They played with their friends. They thought of themselves as just like everybody else until suddenly the government pointed them out. I mean, one of the things that I find so absurd about the entire incarceration experience is that everybody of Japanese ancestry, regardless of how remote, was removed from the West Coast and sent to a prison. They cleaned out orphanages of babies. There was an orphanage, I think it was at Manzanar, I'm not sure, because Manzanar was the largest camp. You couldn't possibly say that any of those babies were potential saboteurs, and certainly some of them were mixed race babies. They weren't entirely Japanese American. So it highlights the absurdity of the entire thing. Many of these people did feel like they were white Americans.
And no matter what the apprehensions of the local residents of DeShay County, or Jerome is where?
Chico.
Chico. No matter what their initial apprehensions may have been about the arrival of the Japanese American, after all things considered a fairly short time, they began to look at us kind of silly because, as I understand the history of it, and you make note of it, passes were being routinely granted to the inhabitants, to the Japanese American citizens, and they were wandering about town.
They did. They in fact, when I was doing
let's go to the movies.
Right. When I was doing research for the film, I looked into the Arkansas History Commission archives at Homer Adkins' papers. Homer Adkins was the governor at the time. And I found a letter in there from a resident of McGee, a name I recognized. Of course, this was written in the 1940s, so I don't think the man had passed away, but I knew his family members. And he was complaining to the governor that the Japanese Americans should not be allowed to go to McGee to shop because they were having too much fun. Mm-hmm. And they were laughing. And he found that somehow distasteful that Japanese Americans would be permitted to laugh in McGee, Arkansas. That's just so crazy. But they did. They did go to town. I found passes for them to go, and transportation provided for them to go to Little Rock to get art supplies and things like that. There was a lot of movement. People would leave the camp. I mean, at first it was much more controlled.
Right.
But then after a while, the authorities realized that these people are not going to go anywhere. They're not going to hurt anybody. They're not going to cause any trouble. I mean, the last people on earth who are going to cause trouble in a community are Japanese Americans. They're very orderly, specifically at that time. They were a very orderly, mannered group. But they would go. The men would go into the cypress swamps and collect the cypress knees to make kobu. Kobu is a polished. They would steam the bark off them, and they would carve them into these beautiful shapes. And the Rohwer camp was known for its kobu art. The men would go leave camp to harvest it and come back.
What's next for you artistically? I mean, look beyond the picture, the film. You got something in mind?
I have another book I'm beginning the first week of December. I have made, a friend of mine promised me that I'm going to sit down and start this book. I did start another book that was about the flood of 1927. Got some ways into it and just had another more imminent project come up that I really want to get working on. So I'm going to put that one on the back burner. Probably another documentary after I get this one finished. Really love filmmaking. I want to do that. I feel, as you asked me before about fiction versus nonfiction, certainly I think fiction allows the reader to feel something more than nonfiction does, and I feel the same way about film versus books. It's a different way to touch people and to reach out to people, and I really like them both. I want to do both of them. I'd love to do a film about the Italians at Sunnyside. I'm not sure that that'll be my next one, but that's probably down the line. I'd love to do films about Arkansas history. I really do. I've always felt, particularly in the Delta, I've always felt that that is the most underappreciated section of the most underappreciated state. And I would really love for people of Arkansas to know more about their history.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
And all of your other projects.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me today, Steve. I really
Vivienne
appreciate
Schiffer,
it.
thank you for your work. Thank you for this time.
Okay.
And we thank you for joining us. And we'll see you next time.
This program is made possible in part by the Moving Image Trust Fund.